Welcome to NoBorders English Studio, the podcast that helps you master the English language with confidence and joy. I'm your host, Tara Rafferty.
And I'm Ben Gill, and we are so thrilled to have you join us for our very first episode.
We really are. Ben and I have been educators for a combined total of over 30 years, and we've poured all of that experience into creating something we believe is truly special.
Our mission is simple: to make learning English easy, accessible, and genuinely enjoyable for everyone, no matter where you are on your learning journey.
Exactly. For me, this comes from a very personal place. With a master's in both education and psychology, I've always been fascinated by not just what we learn, but how we learn. The mindset, the motivation, the little anxieties that can hold us back. It's all connected.
That's such a crucial point, Tara. My background is in curriculum development, and I've seen so many students get bogged down by rigid, outdated methods. Learning a language shouldn't feel like a chore. It should feel like an adventure.
It really should. We want to address those common hurdles head on. That feeling of being stuck, the fear of making a mistake, or the sense you're not making progress. We're all about breaking barriers, building fluency.
I couldn't agree more. Can you give our listeners an example of what you mean by rigid, outdated methods?
Right. And we want to tell you right here, right now, this is a safe space. Every mistake is a stepping stone. Every question is a sign of progress. We're here to guide you, not to grade you. So a classic example is rote memorization of vocabulary lists, completely divorced from context. Students are given pages of words and their translations and expected to just absorb them. It's incredibly inefficient and, frankly, boring. You learn the word apple, but you don't learn how to use it in a sentence like, I went to the market to buy an apple, or the cultural significance of an apple for the teacher. Another is the obsessive focus on perfect grammar from day one. It paralyzes students. They become so afraid of making a mistake with a verb tense that they don't speak at all. That's not communication. We want to move away from that, towards a model that prioritizes communication and confidence first. The grammatical precision will follow.
So, let's talk about what you can expect from NoBorders English Studio. What will you find in your podcast feed each week? Ben, why don't you start with who this podcast is for?
I'd love to. Simply put, this podcast is for everyone. If you're an absolute beginner just learning hello and goodbye, we'll have episodes for you. If you're an intermediate learner trying to navigate complex grammar, we've got you covered.
That's right. A huge part of that is practicing your listening comprehension. It's one of the most important and often most difficult skills to develop.
So many of our episodes will be built around that. We'll have natural conversations like this one, tell stories, or discuss interesting topics. Your job is just to listen, absorb, and get your ear accustomed to the rhythms and sounds of English.
And to make that learning more active, many of our episodes will come with a little something extra. We'll include a few comprehension questions at the end.
That's a great point. It's not a test. It's just a way for you to check your own understanding and reinforce what you just heard. We'll always go over the answers, of course, explaining any tricky vocabulary or phrases along the way.
Beyond listening, we're all about giving you practical tools. We'll be sharing our favorite tips and tricks for learning English faster and more effectively.
Things like memory techniques to make vocabulary stick, simple ways to understand difficult grammar rules, and even advice on how to think in English instead of constantly translating in your head. These are the strategies that can accelerate your progress. I think that's what so many of our listeners are hungry for, Ben. Not just the what to learn, but the how. Could you give us a sneak peek? What's one of your favorite, most effective learning tricks?
Of course. My favorite is the shadowing technique. You listen to a short sentence from a native speaker and repeat it out loud immediately, trying to mimic the pronunciation, rhythm, and intonation exactly. It's a fantastic way to improve your accent and fluency. And we know the journey isn't always easy. There will be days you feel frustrated or unmotivated. We've both been there as language learners ourselves.
Absolutely. That's why we're building motivation right into the fabric of this podcast. We'll share stories of success, talk about how to overcome learning plateaus, and remind you why you started this journey in the first place. We're your personal cheerleading squad.
And finally, we won't be doing it all alone. We plan to occasionally bring on fantastic guest speakers.
Yes, think of experts in linguistics, native speakers with different accents from the UK, Australia, and beyond, and even successful English learners who can share the secrets to their success. It's going to be a rich and diverse learning experience.
Exactly. And a huge part of that is accessibility. We believe you should be able to learn English without limits, which is why this podcast will always be free for everyone, everywhere.
Right. NoBorders English Studio is completely free. You can listen whenever you want, wherever you are.
You can learn on your commute, at the gym, or while cooking dinner. It's English for every moment. Just press play.
And we don't want this to be a one-way conversation. We want to build a community of learners, a global family of people all working towards the same goal.
We love for you to connect with us. Write to us. Comment below to ask questions, suggest topics for future episodes, or just share your progress. We'll be there, reading and responding.
We truly want to hear from you. Your journey is what inspires us to create this content every week.
So that's our plan. That's our promise to you, a supportive, practical, and motivating resource to help you achieve your English language goals.
And we're going to hit the ground running. In our next episode, we'll be tackling one of the most requested topics from our students, the 5 most common mistakes English learners make and how to easily fix them.
It's going to be a really practical one, packed with useful advice you can apply immediately. You won't want to miss it.
Thank you so much for joining us on this first step of our journey together. We are so excited for what's to come on NoBorders English Studio. Remember, when it comes to learning, there are no borders to confidence, clarity, and connection. Until next time, keep learning and keep unlocking your potential.
Goodbye for now, everyone.